Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, The Minimal Approach. I'm Andréane and today I will be sharing with you my February makes. If you're interested, stay tuned. So in February I made 10 things, and those are 10 things that either worked out very well or just didn't work out at all. I learned so much and I can't wait to share this with you. So the first thing that I made in February is this Granville shirt. I will insert some pictures. This is a pattern that I did one time already and I absolutely loved it. I wear it all the time. This time I used some fabric from Globetex and it's this almost kind of like waffly cotton blend with a little bit of like polyester, so it doesn't really wrinkles and it's very comfortable. I used the scrap that I had from my boyfriend's shirt, which I bought so much fabric for, but I really didn't need it that much. Although I did make one mistake. I did the cuffs twice because the first time I did them, I used a piece of fabric but on the opposite side, so they were super narrow and it wasn't really looking good. Also, I had to change some of the like button placement because one button was too high and it was kind of like pulling onto the side of the shirt, so it wasn't looking good. I'm getting better and better at these collar stands, so I'm happy that I get to improve my skills. Also, yeah, I love the little darts for shaping and it's a pretty straightforward shirt. I'm very happy with that too. This is something that I really love about sewing, that you can really see your progress, and it really increased my self-confidence in general in life, and I appreciate this so much. I feel so grateful that I can sew and improve my skills. It's such an amazing thing. The second garment I did is the Lola coat from Sew Over It, but I won't be showing it to you because it looks terrible. There's something at the back, like where the two pieces of the front like waterfall collar match, that I really didn't get, and I'm really not proud of this one. It didn't work out. I think the instructions are not that great because, in fact, the instructions are great, but the pictures that go with the instructions are not that good because the fabric is actually like white on a white table, so you cannot really like see the difference between the right side or the wrong side. And then anyway, it was very confusing to me and it didn't work out. After I did like lots of research on blogs and stuff, I kind of figured out how I should have done it, but it uses so much fabric, so I just gave up and I don't think I'll do this pattern again. The next make worked out very well and it's the Nikki Cardigan from Athina Kakou, and here you can see the lovely belt. I used this gorgeous kind of like scuba knit but without lots of stretch from Fabricville, and I'm so pleased with how it turned out. I've been wanting to add lots of like colors and flowers to my wardrobe because everything is either black or like dark colored, and I don't know, it's spring soon, I hope, so I was thinking that I should really add some brightness to my wardrobe, and I'm so pleased with this one. I got lots of good feedback from it. I think it suits like my figure and my style. And it's a good sign that even if a pattern doesn't turn out the first time, you should try it again sometimes if you have a good feeling about it, because the first Nikki Cardigan I did was a black version of it and the fabric I used wasn't appropriate at all. I was like getting all sweaty and stuff. It was too much like polyester. So yeah, that wasn't good and it kind of left me with a bad impression. And I did do the short version, and where it was like going on my hips or on my waist, I really didn't like how it was like looking on me, but this version, the long version, I love it. The only thing that I think I will add is some little loops where I could just put my belt in, because now it just, if it's not in a kind of like a bow, it just falls off because there's nothing like to keep the belt like on my waist. So I think I'll add that because it would be more like practical. But other than that, I wore this a ton and I really like it. The next thing I made, I unfortunately don't have it with me because it's a henley shirt I did for my father as a gift. He's been asking me to sew something for him for a while now, but I just wasn't confident enough with my skills. But then after I did the henley shirt from thread theory for my boyfriend, I was like, well, I know exactly what I'm going to sew for my father, and it's this top, and I really liked it. I had to shorten the sleeve a little bit and shorten the length a little bit. My father is 5'9". I'll insert some pictures. The only thing that I kind of regret is that I think I shortened the sleeve a little bit too much, maybe like 1/4 of an inch, and the sleeve are a little bit too wide at his wrist. I think I should have narrowed them down a little bit. But other than that, it looks great, and the fabric is the same as this one, and it's so comfortable. It's extremely soft, and it's a polyester with like a poly and cotton blend from Fabricville. It's this gorgeous green color, and depending on the lighting, it kind of looks a little bit like more brownish. Anyway, it's gorgeous, and it fits its tone so well. And he really wanted me to add a little logo, because he's always telling me how like my makes are great and that I should identify them and I should kind of like come up with a brand. So I ordered some labels from Dutch Labels, but I also did a little embroidery on the like lower corner of his top to make kind of like a unique and distinguished mark. The next thing I did is a free pattern, and it's the Stellan t-shirt. It's from French Navy, and I used scrap fabric from my boyfriend's henley shirt, and I really don't like it. I think it's way too boxy on me. I don't like the fit. I think this this French terry is a little bit too heavy for this type of t-shirt. Although the pattern is very well drafted, the neckband fits perfectly, as you can see, and the sleeve are a good length for me, I think. But the drop shoulder thing with the like the boxiness of it really doesn't fit me at all. Also, I didn't have enough fabric, so I had to do like the front a little bit shorter than the back. But that's not something that really bothers me. It's more like the shape of it. So I'm still on the hunt for the perfect t-shirt. I just downloaded the Sparrow tee from Common Stitch. I think this one might be it, because if you saw my last video, I shared that I did the sunny top from Friday Pattern Company, and I really didn't like it. The neckband was terrible, and the fit wasn't like, was too tight, and my fabric just was bad as well. It was too thin of like a jersey knit. Also, I did the blank tee from Blank Slate Pattern. It's a free pattern as well, and I don't really like it because the sleeves are not long enough. And yeah, so this month I'll try the Sparrow tee, and I'll also try the Molly top from So Over It. I should find joy in one of these two patterns. Next, I did something beautiful, but it started out being terrible, and it's the Brice Jumpsuit from Arc Style Patterns. And it has a belt at the waist, it has a v-neck with a facing, and I realized that I don't really like facing because I feel like they're always either like sticking out, or I don't know, I don't really like them. So next time I might try to do a band instead. I'll see. And in the back you have two buttons as a closure. It has like 3/4 length sleeve and some kind of like darts for shaping. And why it didn't start well, it's because I started out by doing the pants version, so it was really a jumpsuit, and I don't know why, but it was pulling like from behind, kind of like where my bottom is, and I don't know, maybe I should have done like a full bum adjustment. I don't know if it's a thing, but there was like something going on, because I'm not that tall, so it shouldn't have been an issue. Like I felt like the bodice was too short on me, and anyway, I really didn't get that. But I really like how the bodice fitted, like the top portion of it with the v-neck, and I was like, well, I have to do something with this because I really like it. So I cutted the skirt piece, and I removed like 5 inches of the skirt because I know I don't like a long kind of like pencil skirt on me. And it worked out so well. I wore this for my mother's 55th birthday, and it was so comfortable. We went to the House of Jazz in Montreal, and it was so much fun. There was like this jazz band, and I felt really like classy, and it was the perfect outfit for the occasion. So really like this. I wear it with the belt like tie in the front. Really recommend this pattern. It's the first time I worked with a style arc pattern, and I was kind of like staying away from them because I've heard that the instructions weren't that good. And when I got the instruction, I was a bit afraid because I realized that they were in pictures with each step-by-step instruction. So I was a little bit afraid of like trying it. But then the instructions were great, and there was like this diagram that showed how all the pieces go together, and it was a pretty simple make. So yeah, I have to say it went very well, and the instructions weren't the problem. I have to say I didn't apply the elastic at the waist. That's something I did when I did the jumpsuit, but then I removed it and I didn't have other elastic to replace it with, so there's no elastic with this. But since there's the belt, I don't really see a use for that, so I'm good. I also have to say that I used a lightweight stretch woven and I didn't use a knit, and it worked out perfectly. So I think it's really something that you can change if you have like some stretch woven fabric that you want to use. Next, and that has to be my favorite make of all time, and I did the ash jeans, and that didn't start out well because I got a fabric that had stretch on the grain line, so on the vertical kind of like direction of the fabric and not on the horizontal, and I cut the fabric as per se on the pattern, not looking at the stretch but looking at the grain line. So I ended up making the ash jeans but with no stretch on the horizontal kind of like side of the pattern, but just on the vertical. So it was terrible. They didn't fit and I was kind of upset, but fortunately I was with friends in Vermont for a sewing retreat, and I came back like trying them on, and I was like, well, they just don't fit at all. Like maybe I chose the wrong size, and I chose the size 28, which fitted with my measurements. So I was kind of like, what went wrong? And then a friend said like, oh no, but there's no stretch in that direction, so of course they don't fit. And I was like, oh no, and I felt so stupid. But fortunately, being with sewing friends, they were like, oh well, we all do like silly mistakes, so just don't be hard on yourself for this one, you know. Yeah, so I wasn't that happy, and I realized that if you remember, I did the Mia jeans before and they were too snug on me, and that's the reason why, because it was the same fabric. So now I'm always looking at the fabric stretch, and I'm always looking at the way that there's the greatest stretch, and that's the way that I cut the fabric on the horizontal side of my body, because that's how I feel most comfortable. Anyway, but the second time I did them, I used this gorgeous fabric from Globetex, and it had 5% spandex or 3% spandex and cotton, and then like 7% polyester, which is a winning combination for me. And I did these ash jeans. The crotch fits perfectly. I did one tiny adjustments, and I did like lengthen the crotch a little bit, but it was like 1/4 of an inch, so it's not really a big deal. I love how she installs the fly front a lot more than the ginger jeans. I love everything about this pattern, really. I love the pockets, that they're not like related, they're not connected with kind of like the front. I really like that. Yeah, I really love everything about these. These are the 29th size, but I did use a little bit of a bigger seam allowance, and at the waist it's the 28th or the 27th. I think it's the 27th waistband. So I had to kind of like take it in a little bit at the waist to make it fit. I didn't use a contrasting top stitching thread because I realized that jeans that I own don't have this contrasting top stitching thread, and I don't know, I didn't really want it to use that. I think the aesthetic of this, I like it, I just like it better. It's a personal preference. But in the future, I know I would like to try to do contrasting top stitching. I think it looks so satisfying when you're done. I got so much use out of this. I think I wore them like 6 times, and I have to say that they're a little bit big after like the 6th time that I wear them. Like I need to throw them in the wash now, because yeah, they feel a little bit more big. Although I am used to wear like so like skinny jeans that I think these are just perfect. Maybe I could have sized down like to a 28 and it would have been fine, but then I feel like it depends so much of the fabric and the stretch and their recovery. Like these pants have so good recovery because after like 6 times they could be baggy like a lot more than they are, so there's that. I went back to buy the exact same fabric and I brought like a sample, but I couldn't for the love of me find like the exact same denim, and I ended up buying a denim that looked really great, but that doesn't have stretch. So I think I might buy the Dawn jeans since I know the crotch and stuff of Megan Nielson fits me very well. But again, I don't know. In my last video, I know I said that I didn't want to have like non-stretch jeans because I guess they're just a little bit less comfortable. I don't know. But now I'm like all in love with Megan Nielson and their jeans, so maybe I will. Finally, I did this pattern that my mother gave me a long time ago, and it's a New Look 6 something. I'll put a picture of the pattern, and it's a 2-piece pattern. There's 1 piece for the front and 1 piece for the back, and it's a little bit more narrow at the waist, and it's not that long of a shirt. Really like this pattern. Although I did a modification, I've been wanting to try to do my own neckband for a while, and this pattern is draft with a facing, but as I said earlier, I discovered this month that I don't really like facing and that I like neckbands a lot more, so I decided to draft my own neckband using a tutorial from Seamwork, and it worked out perfectly. The only thing is that I didn't take it in enough. Right here, as you can see, it stands a little bit, so that's something I want to correct. But for my first time, I was so pleased. I'm just like very impressed. I thought it would be a lot harder than this, and it doesn't kind of like gap in the front, so that's something that I like as well. And I used leftover fabric from my father. I wore this a few times already and I really like it. It's so comfortable just to go to work and stuff. And lastly, I did this as a gift for my mother, and I did another one for myself. This one isn't done, as you can see the little pins here, but it's a sleeping mask and it's a cat, so it looks very cute. This is a pattern from Olulu and it's free. And I did this like 3 times already. I really like it. I sleep with it every night, and yeah, so I made one for my mother's birthday. Also, for my mother's birthday, we went shopping for fabric, and it was such a blast because I've been shopping with my mother at like Fabricville since I'm a kid, like from, I don't know, 6 to like 12. We were shopping there with my grandma every weekend, and I really wasn't interested at all in fabrics or sewing, or you know, everything like evolving around sewing. I thought we were spending way too much time there, and then my mother and my grandma were like, oh, this pattern would be so great with this fabric, but then should I not? I know I have a stash, and you know, all these kind of like questions that I'm asking myself right now since I've been sewing for like 1.5 years. But we never got the occasion to go fabric shopping together because my mother doesn't really sew right now, but she wants to go back to it. So it was such a blast, and the best thing is that my father came with us, and he was so kind and just looking around at fabric and giving his opinion and being like, ooh, this would suit you so well, and it was amazing. It was such a great experience. I felt like we were kind of like closing the loop of the sewing practice of the family. It was amazing. It's funny how this creativity practice brings us together, either with friends or with family. Again, I feel like sewing is such a privilege, and I'm so grateful that I get to develop the skills and be like surrounded with people that love it as well. So thank you so much for all of you guys who listens to those videos and are just like involved in the sewing community. It's so much fun to share this with you guys. I got 2 fabrics, the denim and another kind of like white with fabric with flowers on it to do a blouse, and my mother got the same, so we'll be able to do some matching blouses. Can't wait to see that. I think it will be so lovely. And she also got 2 other fabrics to do a dress, so I can't wait to see her next make, because she is so talented. She used to make all our clothes and some very fancy coats and stuff with like faux fur and with lining, and she was doing us like little hats that matched the coats. And she also worked, she did like a pair of like faux leather pants for me because I really wanted that. And yeah, she worked with all like the tough materials. She was making little swimsuits for us, so she did the whole thing, like all the finicky fabrics and stuff. So can't wait for her to go back to sewing again so we can share this passion and she can show me cool stuff too. So this is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. That's amazing. 1,000 people subscribe to my channel. It's like the best thing. I feel so lucky to be able to share all my makes with you guys and get your input and feedback. It's just the best. So happy sewing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!